Hi, and welcome back. This past week, I had a chance to travel down to San Antonio, Texas, together with our founder and president, Craig Thompson, and Yvonne McCarthy, to the 5th Annual Texas Weight Loss Surgery Summit. I sat down with Dr. Lloyd Stegemann, former president of the Texas Association for Bariatric Surgery, to learn more about the purpose of the summit and the group's goal of making bariatric surgery more available to people who need it. So I'm here with Dr. Lloyd Stegemann at the Texas Weight Loss Surgery Summit. Dr. Stegemann was actually the original president of the Texas Association of Bariatric Surgery and is one of the featured speakers at this event. Dr. Stegemann, you've been doing bariatric surgery for over 6 years now, or you're in your 6th year now, and I'm curious, you've performed more than 600 surgeries, you've assisted in hundreds more. What have you seen change in terms of the trends, both demographically and some of the medical technology that's changed over the last several years?
Well, I think we're seeing more and more banding being done now as compared to gastric bypass. When I first started, probably almost 100% of my business was bypass, and now it's probably 50% bypass, 50% bands. We're seeing introduction of new technology in terms of sleeve gastrectomies. We're seeing now, now even at this meeting, we're seeing some single incision surgery done rather than 5 incisions being done. The technology is getting better and better and better, and our procedures actually are getting better and better. And if we look at the safety data over the last 10 years, it just continues to improve. I think probably the biggest thing now is that we are now seeing that weight loss surgery works. I mean, it's no longer a question, does it work? Now the real work comes in improving access for people to have this life-saving procedure.
So tell me a little bit then about the mission of TABS.
We originally tried to do was to try to gather surgeons, number one, to get together and start working together. We have a lot more in common than we do separate. And so that was the original idea, was TABS, was to bring all of the surgeons together to start working towards advocacy issues. As a part of that, we wanted to reach out to patients, and we wanted to let people know that surgery really is the first step. And it's what you do after your surgery in terms of dietary changes, behavioral changes, activity changes that really create long-term success. And that was the idea behind the Texas Weight Loss Surgery Summit. We found many patients who weren't getting that type of education out there. And so once a year here in Texas, we gather all of the patients that we can, as well as the professionals that take care of them. And in this meeting it's an educational meeting for both surgeons and patients. And it's really just a great opportunity to network with one another and continue to advance the weight loss surgery in the state of Texas.
Finally, in our last story, can you imagine if someone told you that you were so fat you shouldn't be allowed to have children? In the UK, a local council recently refused to allow one couple to adopt because the husband's body mass index was more than 42, categorizing him as morbidly obese. The council cited the man's weight-related health and lifestyle issues as the reason for the rejection of the couple's request. Now, there was a similar case here in the United States in 2007 when a family court judge ruled that a man was unfit as an adoptive parent because he weighed 500 pounds. Although the National Council for Adoption says that obesity itself does not disqualify someone as an adoptive parent, as long as their weight does not pose undue risks to the child, the organization does admit that the long-term health risks associated with obesity can be a cause for rejection in certain circumstances. In the U.S., anyone who applies to adopt a child is subjected to a lengthy home study by a licensed social worker, which includes a detailed investigation of their backgrounds along with the living conditions, health, security, and safety of their home. Some people will argue, of course, that weight should not be a factor in judging a couple's fitness to adopt, as long as they're capable of providing a child with a healthy, happy environment. But others point out that children should not be adopted into families where one or both parents suffer from a potentially life-threatening disease. So we want to hear where you stand on the issue. Do you think morbid obesity should disqualify someone from adopting a child? Or is it more important that they're able to provide a safe and loving environment? If you're watching us on the Weight Loss Surgery channel, send us your comments here in the box below the video player. Or you can drop us a line at news@WLSchannel.com. And of course, you can email us there if you have any feedback about the show or you have a news story you think we should cover. That's it for today's show. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here next week. Bye-bye.